This is Mason Winfield with another episode of Psi Friday with Mason. This one in mid-April 2026. I'm calling it a good one. And it comes from a quote of the eminently quotable Marv Levy, former head football coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, Marv, brilliant man, brilliant. And I mean, one of the smartest people who's ever become a football coach. And when Marv was a young man, he was studying history at Harvard. And he wanted to be a football coach. And the motivation became a compulsion. And he called his dad and he told him, "Dad, I'm going to quit graduate school at Harvard. I want to be a football coach." There's a pause. His dad goes, "Be a good one." Well, you know, if the dead can only come back to you once, I can think of one who picked a good time. So this is a day or two after Easter in 2003. My dad had died 10 years before. I kept waiting for a sign from him. Nothing. 10 years before. He was the first person really close to me who died in my adulthood. So I could feel it, you know. And I was a wreck for about a while. I was always waiting for him to come back to say something. But that year, it was 10 years after his death, my mother had just died. I'm an only child, don't have a lot of family, not married, don't have kids. Don't pity me for the last two. I've had lots of opportunities. But somehow I ended up in Ohio, spent Easter Sunday there. I was on my way to a family condominium in South Carolina, and I'm feeling pretty alone. And I'm driving, it's about 10 in the morning, and I think the date was April 22nd, 10 in the morning. And I'm driving on Route I-77, big, fast interstate, north-south, driving it south of Beckley, about an hour south of Beckley, West Virginia, pretty close to the Virginia state line, maybe North Carolina. Long, winding, really fast traffic, misty. And you just got a creepy feeling. It was like a scene out of Lord of the Rings, you know, you just thought, better just watch out. And I'm driving fast, and I'm ahead of my line of traffic, probably by a half mile. I can't really see anybody behind me. And I'm winding around this bend, gradual uphill, real fast. I mean, people are going 70 to 75 to 80. The left of these two lanes, there's a line of stopped cars. The right is empty. And this is, man, it's not hard at all for me to slow down. I'm hoping everybody behind me does. And I pull up, and naturally you think there's an obstruction in the right, which is empty. So you just get in line. And I'm at the end of this line of traffic. And as I'm under it, I hear this voice. It's my dad's voice, giving me just like it just popped out of nowhere, giving me a driving lesson. He says, "Mace, if you ever find yourself at the end of a line of stopped cars on a highway, you might want to be real careful." And that phrase came to me. And I look in the rear view. There's this enormous truck, huge thing, moving. It's probably half a mile behind me. I can see it. But if that guy doesn't start stopping, this could be a problem. And the voice, the truck, this eerie stillness of everybody being stopped. I mean, it felt like a scene in a monster movie. I go, all right, I've had enough of this. I pull into the right empty lane. I go, no, that's not good enough. And I happen to be under a real high bridge with these mammoth pillars. They're like that. I get off the road surface onto the border, and I even tuck myself in behind one of these mammoth pillars. And the minute I tuck in, I go, well, I wonder what's going on over there. I take a quick look. I hear this enormous sound. It's just a munch. And the truck had not stopped. It had bashed, I don't know how many cars it had bashed where I would have been. And as I turned, I could see the mammoth thing go by. And I could see the driver suddenly, he was a bearded guy with receding, you can see him panicked, trying to fight for control of the vehicle. It had shot right through the right lane. And I think, oh, whew. And then about seconds later, I hear this another thunderous sound, munch, up ahead. Very cautiously, I pull out. There's no traffic behind me. And I drive really slowly in the empty right lane past this line of cars. And I get about a half a mile up, and I can see about 3 or 4 of them just punched out of their position. And this mammoth truck has come to stillness in the median down below. And as I go by very patiently, I can see the driver just, just kind of slumping over the wheel, trying to think, what had he done? How many people had he killed? And the stillness was absolutely eerie. Anyone who's ever seen the first King Kong film, the original, remember the scene where they shoot the dinosaur to death and this giant dinosaur is down there dead and they walk by this surreal stillness? That's what it felt like going by this truck. But it was then that I realized I had been waiting for my sign, something from my dad. Maybe they only get one shot. Maybe the healthy dead, the sensible dead, the ascended ones, they don't want to be back on earth manipulating our lives, monkeying with our lives every day. Maybe they come back just once. And if that's the rule, if you only get one pop, my dad picked a good one. I'll see you next week for another episode of Psi Friday with Mason.